Welcome. The name of the game is Assassin Dawn. Blood filled with the past, present, and future. Story. The game is set in 80s, with the hero being an assassin with a gun. The name of the hero is Altair Auditory, is a highly skilled assassin who fell in love with a common girl and decided to quit his assassin life and live normally with a risk-free job. Now, the girl is his fiancée. But things do not go as planned, as his enemies in the past resurfaced and kidnapped his fiancée, and the police seems to be unable to find the culprit. Now Auditory must take the matter in his own hands and put a mask to become the assassin he once was.
Now let me play the game for a short period of time. So this is the gameplay. So you can either jump on top of the enemy or try to shoot him before he comes near you so that the enemy gets killed. So this is the ammo, the gun which is shown there. So you take the ammo increases, and if you go there near the enemy stabs you and he goes away because the player goes away too. So the gun there which is there is the ammo. So you can kill the enemy like this and go on. So this is the easiest level in the game. So next I'll be going to the next level, which is like one of the hardest levels in the game. So this has many components. So you go like that. So if you can see below, the number of enemies have increased, and the size of the strawberries also increased to give you more points. So the number of you can easily see the number of enemies getting increased. So this is the basic gameplay. So now back to the story.
Now, as you have noticed, the gun name is Dawn, and it's called the Stun Killer. The gun has a special ability to stun the enemies and thus killing them standing, and also makes the body of the user of the gun have filled with thunder, thus having the ability to jump and stun the enemies and thus killing them standing. Gameplay is basically the Altair Auditory was following a trail left behind by the enemies. He ended up being in a ghost town called the Thunderwood Town, a place where he once killed over 100 enemies in one night. In this town, there are many familiar and unfamiliar enemies of Auditory who are highly trained vigilantes with powerful weapons. The most common weapons used by these enemies are a dagger, a powerful dagger, and a shield. Auditory must go into different locations and different places and defeat his enemies, and such that he has to search and find his long lost wife. And in this game, we not only have food items such as the strawberry to increase your score, but also have enemies. There are even mid-tier and high level bosses. The mid-tier bosses have a syringe which enables them to grow quite a big size. And the final boss has a powerful syringe called the 510 Atomic, which allows the person to grow 10 times bigger. There are 3 main rules in this game. The first rule is to score a minimum of 500 points per level. The second rule is kill at least 80% of your enemies. The third and the main rule is to save your fiancé. Concept art. The UI screen and layouts will be such that the background will be full of ghosts, and it will merely have a haunted maison behind it. And the maison will be poorly constructed and such that there will be different breaking down. It's basically a rundown factory, a rundown house town. Gameplay controls. There are a few main controls to this. First, the main usage of upwards arrow, which allows the assassin to jump up. Downwards arrow for the assassin to slightly bend down. Leftward arrow to move the assassin left. Rightwards arrow to move the assassin right. Spacebar key for the assassin to shoot stun bullet. There are 2 main sprites involved in this. Apart from the 2 main sprites are a hero sprite and the enemy sprite. The development experience. The development of the game was fun as well as sometimes frustrating during the whole process of making. We got various ideas and motivation by creating this game. Our coding skills has improved a lot just by debugging the glitches and implementing different gameplay mechanics. What went right and what went wrong?
So now, what went right was that even though we drifted a little bit from the game design documents which we submitted earlier this semester, we could stick to the gameplay mechanics which we had decided during the semester, and the game creation went as per plan. What went wrong was that we drifted a little bit from the game design documents, even though we didn't want to do that, to give the enemy and the player a balance and to give a complete feeling of the game. So,
What we learned it is difficult to implement attacks for the enemies and the hero assassins. Sometimes during the process, sometimes we gave the hero more power such that he easily beat the enemies. But sometimes we made it too difficult that the enemies easily crushed the hero. So we finally understood that a game is not so easy. We need to balance the level of attacks and difficulty for the enemy as well as the hero. The creating games is very time consuming and it was extremely difficult. But it is actually extremely fun to create your own games and to play them. Plans for the game. We plan to further polish the game with better mechanics, gameplay, sprites, and thus finally releasing the game on Steam by fall 2018. Hopefully we can release it by November. In the future, the enemies will be having guns and can dodge bullets instead of having daggers and shield. Boss enemies will also have extra power-ups.
So I'll be now talking about the challenges in this game. So even though we have not shown in this video the big enemy comes later in the later stages in the final level. So to beat him is kind of more difficult compared to the smaller enemies, and as the level increases, the number of smaller enemies increases, and as you can see, the bigger enemies will come into play in the later levels.
Thank you. The game was created by Tarun Anandapillai and Raul Rajan Karthikeyan.
Thank you.